What if I told you that moving home didn't need to be complicated? It didn't need to be stressful. And that, well, actually, it could be, well, simple. Would you believe me? Well, here at Movewise UK, that is exactly why we exist. We exist for you, home movers of the UK, to give you the information, the guidance, and most importantly, support that you need at every stage of your home move to give yourself the best possible chance of having a stress-free, uncomplicated, and above all else, simple home move. So in this guide, we're going to take you through the very first steps of moving home, what to do first and when. Let's get started. Meet Mo. Mo has moved nest many times and he's become somewhat of a pro. Say hi to the people at home, Mo. Mo lives with his better half and two little bundles of energy. Together, Mo and his family are going to help us walk you through step by step how to achieve a stress-free, uncomplicated, and above all else, a simple home move. Together, we're going to tell it exactly how it is. In our first guide, we're going to walk you through the basics of getting started with moving home, what to do first and in what order. So, let's get started. When moving home, the very first thing to do is to do your homework and flush out any nasty surprises. It's really easy to get drawn into going out and viewing properties, getting hooked on browsing the listings on the internet and getting all dreamy about potential new homes. It is a really exciting time and we would love you to enjoy it. But particularly at this stage, it is really important to keep your feet on the ground. The last thing anyone wants is for you to fall head over heels in love with a new home and psychologically move out of your current home only to find that for whatever reason, it can't be yours. This situation is crushing. It's heartbreaking and generally horrible. But with a little level-headed homework, you can vastly reduce your chances of that happening to you. You know, it might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many home movers fail to do this properly. Talk. Talk openly, talk honestly, and talk frankly about all of the reasons you want to move home. Get out in the open what it is about your current home or current situation that is pushing you to want to move home. For Mo and family, they're a growing family and they're running out of space fast. Think it through. Be clear why you want to move. And then when you're done, talk some more. Try to bend, twist, pull and yank your decision to move home. Make sure that this is your best option. Next, be clear between your needs and wants. Make lists to separate the two. Again, talk openly and frankly to establish what your bare minimum requirements are for your move. What do you actually need from the move? Be as specific as you can be. Be clear. If it's one extra bedroom, or if it's being within a 30-minute commute of work, or if it's living within 5 miles of a parent, be really specific. What are you not prepared to live without? When you have your list, put it to the test. And for every single item on your need list, ask yourself this question. If I can't have this, would I still move home? Next, focus on your wants. What are the things that you would like to have in your new home? These are things that if push comes to shove and you just couldn't have, would leave you disappointed, but ultimately wouldn't prevent you from making a move. Remember these because these are points of compromise later on. So it's just as important to identify these, but also to work out which are most important to you by ranking them. Next, do your research. We live in a world where all the information you need is accessible to you in the public domain. for free and available to you at the click of a button online. Use these tools that are available to you before you let an estate agent anywhere near your door. Rightmove, Zoopla and the Land Registry have all the information that you need. Banks and building societies, nearly all, have various online calculators and tools that can help you establish your financial position. Through your research, what you're trying to do is establish that you're in a healthy financial position to be able to move. Because as we said before, we don't want you to fall head over heels in love with a new palace and then find that for whatever reason, you just can't have it. Key questions to ask yourself here is, how much can I borrow? There are a number of things that will affect this number, primarily your income, but also the size of your deposit fund and your capacity to repay the loan. But knowing your maximum possible lending potential is a great place to start. Word of warning though, do not let anyone credit search you at this stage, because doing so could harm your credit rating later on and affect your ability to obtain lending when the time comes. But do talk to lenders. Being clear though not to credit search you at this stage. You're just talking to them informally to find out how much you might be able to borrow when the time comes. Probably more importantly is work out how much you can afford to borrow. Do a budget of all of your incomings and outgoings, being clear to consider all of the costs associated with the kind of home that you want to buy. Make sure you leave sufficient space for interest rate rises and therefore increases in your repayments. Research how much your current home, if you're selling one, might actually sell for. Use Rightmove, Zoopla and the Land Registry to search for sold prices. Our advice to you is forget asking prices at this stage obtained from estate agents or property listings online, but focus solely on actual sold prices for comparable properties to yours. These are a far better indication of how much cash you might actually have in your pocket. Work out how much of your savings and or equity you need to ring fence for fees and removal costs. Research estate agency fees, conveyancing fees, mortgage arrangement fees, removal costs, etc., etc. and make sure that this doesn't affect your capacity to move. When you have a feel for how much you've actually got to play with, research how much a home might actually cost you. Make sure that you can afford to buy a home that meets at least everything on your need list. Ultimately, we're aiming to get as much of your want list in the bag too, just to put a cherry on top. But for now, make sure that you can cover your need list. If you can't, I know it might be disappointing, and I feel for you, but unfortunately moving home right now might not actually be your best option. But at least you've found out now rather than later when you've fallen head over heels in love with a new home. And ultimately, you've got a really good idea what needs to be worked on to get move ready. If you can comfortably afford a home that meets your need list and leaves some cash to spare, congratulations, you've just taken a first step that too many home movers fail to take, and you have increased your chances of having a stress-free and simple home move. And finally, when you think you've cracked it, test yourself again. Ask yourself whether you can really afford it. Consider different scenarios and work out the financials for each. Work out where your upper limitations are financially. Make sure that you know what you're capable of. So we do hope that you enjoyed this video. Coming up next, we've got a series of 3 videos focusing on estate agents. First up, we'll give you a general overview. Following that, we'll look specifically at valuation visits and how to think about them a little bit differently. And finally, we'll give you the inside track on how to choose your agent. As we say, we hope you found this useful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and help us reach as many people as possible just like you. Other things that you can do to help us along our way is like our videos, leave us some comments and share our channel as widely as you possibly can on your social media network. So for now, thank you very much for watching, but until next time, bye now.